Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's episode 104 of the Audible Farm Podcast, and this episode is brought to you by Couchtown Coffee. Couchtown Coffee is roasted right here in Iowa, and if you don't know what it is, it's probably the freshest coffee you will ever have. They make coffees to order, so when you make an order, they roast your order and then ship it to you. They're not roasting big batches of coffee and waiting to sell them out, hopefully throughout the week or month or, whatever those big box companies are doing. They're doing it the right way. They're roasting it for you, made to order, and that's awesome. That's really cool. That's how I get all my coffee. It comes from Couchtown. Check it out, www.couchtowncoffee.com. The roaster there, Andrew, is also a musician himself. I did a podcast with him. Go check it out. It's a pretty good podcast. Andrew will roast your coffee for you, and because he loves live music so much, he will give you 20% off as well. All you have to do is enter the code word AudibleFarm to let him know that you found out about him from here, and that's all you got to do. You go make an order at www.couchtowncoffee.com, and you say, hey, I heard about you on Audible Farm, and I'd like to save 20%, and he will do the rest, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be the best coffee you've had. So thanks, Couchtown. Check them out. This week, I'm sitting down with Scott Dahl. Scott Dahl has been on the podcast before. We've discussed him and his bands before. We've sat down with him in part with the Kris Karr Band, and last year, around this time, we sat down and talked about the Rockin' Picnic. Well, guess what? Labor Day weekend's coming up, and the Rockin' Picnic is here. The Rockin' Picnic is this weekend. We sit down and talk all about it in this upcoming podcast. We recorded this a little bit before the picnic, so we recorded about 10 or 12 days before the picnic happened. So when you guys listen to this, we might still be kind of wishy-washing back and forth as to what might be happening. As per usual, go to the Facebook page below for any possible COVID updates as far as the Rockin' Picnic. As of right now, it's still happening. And as of the podcast, well, we'll just let you guys listen to it. This is episode 104 with Scott Dahl, and we are talking Rockin' Picnic 2020, and it's one of my favorite concerts of the year. So I hope you guys enjoy the podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy the Rockin' Picnic.
It's the Audible Farm Podcast with your host, Peter Stockdale.
Okay, sitting down today with Scott Dahl. It's been about a year since we talked about the Rockin' Picnic, because it's been about a year since the last Rockin' Picnic.
Correct.
So, what's going on this year? Let's just start it off with the Rockin' Picnic talk.
Well, Rockin' Picnic, we do it every year, and we're looking to have 5 bands across the stage on Sunday.
5.
One band, Brutal Republic, on Saturday night.
The Saturday night, I
Yep.
feel like that's the dark horse good time concert. Do you still? I don't know if you're doing the shrimp boil or crab boil this year.
I'm not really involved in all of the food portion of it. We have other people that make those decisions on the committees and that. And I believe we're still doing the shrimp boil of sort.
Okay.
We might do it differently rather than just throwing it out on the table.
Okay.
Obviously, this is a different year with.
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
dude.
We're doing what we can to do it right.
I still was just like, I don't know if the Rockin' Picnic's happening. You were like, it's going to happen in some fashion. Don't worry. And I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen. And I'm still dicey. It's only like 2 weeks away, and you don't know what could change, I guess. But
correct. And something could happen that shuts us down. And we don't know between now and then.
Nope.
If we were prepared earlier this spring, we had another venue to go to if the park board had decided not to let us do it there. Mm-hmm. But they were kind enough to, nothing's changed for them. There's people camping. We're obviously going to stress distancing. We will have our tent there as usual for people for protection from the weather if it's needed.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's good, especially with the derecho that happened not too long ago.
Correct. I know that we've got a couple of class reunions coming. I think 85 and 75 are both going to be there.
Oh, cool.
So we're hoping that brings more people.
Yeah.
And obviously, everybody's going to be on their own for the distancing. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got a head on their shoulders, and they need to use it.
Yes. I feel like that is understated in general
Yeah.
in public anyways.
Yep.
You know, everybody needs to just, stay a little bit away from everybody. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if everybody stayed 6 feet away anyways.
Yeah.
But
If anybody's uncomfortable, I really don't want to see them there.
I mean,
not being rude. I just don't want them to be uncomfortable if they come out.
yeah, I mean, the worst thing you could have happen would be just have somebody show up just to make a big stink or something. I would hope if somebody drove in, saw what they thought was, quote, too many people, they'd just turn around and go home,
Yeah. Well, but the park is big enough that you could have 100 people in a square footage area, and
all 6 feet apart.
yeah, and 30 people over here, the same group. But you don't have to be in either group. You can be on your own out. Hell, that music carries across the park.
That's my favorite. Anywhere in Lower Sheldon, you will be able to hear the music perfectly fine.
Correct.
So that's like one of the other cool things. You could just pull into a parking spot and roll your windows down if you really wanted to.
Yep. Bring the pickup truck and
Oh, I never thought about that.
yeah, put a tarp in the back, fill her with water, and you have a pool, sit in the pool, listen to music.
Dude, that could be really cool, actually. Like, everybody parking in the back of their trucks and stuff. It could be a really neat, slight drive-in environment
Yep.
there, because you do have that one area that's set up for parking, and it's a
Yep.
very big area, so...
And we're going to ask, everybody's going to have to understand this year. We might spread out a little bit more to create more room, so people aren't so packed in. Not that they're packed in, but we're going to try to spread out as much as we can, and we may move parking back 15, 20 feet.
Not a bad idea.
I think the rumor was we're going to move the bags across the road
Cool, yeah.
to separate them from the tent area.
All right.
Again, distancing is the purpose, and trying to make everybody happy.
Yeah, I
and
mean...
still have a good time.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I've always thought about this. I've been to 4 now. This will be my 5th Rockin' Picnic out of the 12. I went to one of like the first handful, and then I've been to like the last 3 into the last 3. So this will be my 5th. But it's always like one of my favorite shows of the year as far as I'm concerned. There's from around the area some of the best music that they can like muster, as well as others from farther out in the state, which is one of my favorite things as far as going to a show. You never know quite what you're going to see, as
Yep.
far as there might be some blues, some rock. Heck, there was an AC/DC cover band last year. I mean, you name it. It's fair game.
And we usually we had a history in the past of doing country music on Saturday nights, but it didn't work out this year. We got Brutal Republic. Jeremy can come up and rock our socks off on Saturday night. I did say Saturday night.
Yes, that's Saturday night.
Anyway, we used to do that on do a country show then, and it didn't come together this year. Maybe we'll get back to it again next year. Who knows? But
Yeah.
we'll try to hit a few genres, and styles of music. I know that we got one band that's going to do a lot of original stuff, MGCC.
Yep.
We got two bands coming earlier. We got Wild Ambition, who they do great 80s, 90s rock.
Yeah, man. I looked up some of their stuff online. They're pretty good.
They actually were our headliner a couple of years ago.
No way.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And the crowd loved them. High energy show.
Mm-hmm.
The first 2 bands we've got are a couple of local bands again that haven't really been established yet, but that's what we're about. We're about helping out local groups, giving people opportunity to get on stage. A lot of these guys have spent a lot of time on stage, but they're just new.
Yeah, it's like a new amalgamation
Yeah.
of people.
New ingredients for
Yes,
them, so.
exactly. Well, I mean, that was the very first band you got up there. I see the poster sitting over there. It's Screaming Artichokes. I think almost every one of them has spent some time on stage a little bit in
Yep.
some form or another.
I believe Nick Earhart's in the band,
Yes.
and Will Sheeky, I believe.
Yep.
I've never heard Will play, but I know that he's been a player for a long time.
Oh yeah. He's good. He's good. I think like maybe Billy Lynn's in that band, maybe too. I'm not sure.
Could be. I wish I knew more about him.
I think maybe Steph Miller's in the band. If that's the case, we're only missing one, and I'm sorry to whoever we're missing. But that was one that was pretty intriguing because I spent a lot of time kind of clowning around with those guys. They're close to my age group,
Yep.
and I'd see Billy play in other bands and things like that. And I know Will plays guitar, but I'm not sure if he's ever been like quote unquote, like in a band before.
Yep.
So this will be really fun to see him get out there and do that. And
Well, a few of these bands, they weren't my hires. They were Pablo that hired Paul. Paul hired them, and I'm good with it because that's pressure off me. I don't have to go out and find those bands.
yeah, it's pretty nice.
And again, it's the same story as it always happens. I'm, 2 months away, and I've only got 2 bands looking for a third band and I can't find it, and then all of a sudden I find a band, and then 3 more come out of the closet.
That's how it almost
woodwork
always
that-
works. Even when I played there, a couple years back. Speaking of which, giving the newcomers a shot, when I first started playing music, live again, that was something, you hit me up like one of the first years and was like, hey, you want to play on stage? And we made something happen. That was, it's just like, these first couple bands. That's one of my favorite things. You're giving everybody a shot to show what they can do, even if it's not with like their original band or whatever. You're just giving the musicians a new way to shine.
Now and the other thing is we have quality bands that are going to rock your socks off, but at the same time, maybe one isn't as well honed as the next group. But that's why they're up there.
Exactly.
So that next year or 2 years down the road, they can be that great band.
Yeah, they can step up in the bill one slot and the next slot and the next slot and work their way up.
Yep.
I mean, that's honestly what happened to me. I played a couple years in a row, and I got the curtain jerker spot the first year, which was really cool, though, because you get to see how many people are there from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Dan talked about this on a previous podcast. It's like 100+ people are there, like right at the very first band, right when the first notes played. It's wild, and by the time you're done, it's like there's like 200 people here now. It's pretty crazy to have that happen, and come back the next year and made a band with Nick Earhart and Jeff Blummel and Dan, and got to try out a new band or whatever, and did that. That was tons of fun too, and it's neat to see Nick going around as the area bassist, the area bassist
as the educated one, I guess.
Yes.
What would you say, the old schooler?
Yes, the proficient mastermind. He's like a journeyman of sorts through the area with everybody's band. It's kind of fun though. Well,
like I said, that's a Screaming Artichokes. That's one of Paul's hires. He did a good job there. We've also got People Like Us, which is Nick Rosendaal's group that he just put together.
Yeah. I'm excited for that one.
And again, I don't know the other members. All I know is I know Nick. I know he's well honed. He can play the drums better than anybody I know. Before I knew he could even play drums, he was way better than I would.
I mean,
anyway, he played with Planet Rock on stage and numerous other bands, and he's put together a new group called People Like Us. We're glad to have him. Give him a shot at getting out and doing a show. Yeah,
I think that's one of the cool things too, because that since Nick is so seasoned, he's probably going to bring the thunder with the band that he's coming with. He's not just going to. I know he wouldn't be the kind of guy that just kind of half threw something together and just to go on stage. That's not how he rolls.
Yep. And I know I don't know the guitar player's name, but he played with a band called Road Hard.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that band.
He's a hell of a shredder. Plays a lot of blues, a lot of hard rock and roll. The bass player, I think, is a new player. I'm not sure what his name is, but Nick's confident, and he says he's good enough to do it. And
cool. That'll be awesome.
So we'll see what they can put out for us.
Is that just a 3-piece then?
I believe it's just 3. I do not know for sure.
I love 3-piece bands.
Power trio.
Dude, it's crazy when you're just like, you guys are making this much noise and there's only 3 of you. Yeah. It always blows my mind. Always.
Yeah. We also have a band out of Fort Dodge this year called MGCC.
Yeah.
And that is Gene Walker, and I believe it's his son plays with them, and they've been around for 3 or 4 years, I think, at least. I know at least, but think maybe even more than that. And they do a lot of original stuff.
Yeah.
They do a few covers. He does a great cover of one of the Outlaws tunes, Green Grass and High Tides.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know they're really ramping up their schedule as of late. They've been booking shows like in Des Moines and things like that with like the whiskey shakes and such. Yeah. So we were attempting to book a show with them in the punk band I'm in down in Des Moines, but COVID happened, and then that goes. But
now the cover he does that I love is not Green Grass. It's actually Freeborn Man.
All right.
Great song. He does a great job of it. Does it at all the blues shows, the jams and stuff that we have. So
that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to having them. We also have Wild Ambition back. We talked about them already. They had the headline slot, 2 years ago. They're going to come back and do a 90-minute show for us, just like everybody else. And first couple of bands are going to do 60-minute shows because it's hard to get 5 bands through in a day.
Oh yeah.
So a couple 60-minute shows and then some 90-minute shows. Plus, before we even get to that last band, remember that we've got acoustic shows going on between every group.
That is also one of my favorite things about the Rockin' Picnic.
Yeah.
I mean, of all time, you guys have such a great way of managing the stage that I think is understated immensely. Doesn't matter who's there watching or anything. Every band I know is always impressed. It's just like Well, the one band is playing on the side of the stage, the other band is set up on this side, and as soon as they're done, it's sound check starts. You got background music coming in from acoustic players. You know, it's wild. You guys have there's no wasted time. Last year I wanted to do a podcast from down there, and it's impossible because there's always music going on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a 5-minute break max.
That's all I want.
You know, so
If there's more than 5 minutes, then I have failed at my job.
it was funny though. I had to like duck out and go into a camper, and I think I'd recorded a podcast there with Lance Larson,
Yep.
and I had to duck out, and then it was just like, wait, Brutal Republic's playing. Let's go, and we just like stopped the podcast and went and watched Brutal Republic. So
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's the intention is to not have any downtime. Mm-hmm. And even while we're switching one band out for the next, we've got an acoustic show going on to try to keep everybody entertained. Because the worst thing my opinion, for a band is a break.
yeah,
I know you're exhausted. You need whatever, but maybe one person at a time take a break, because if your whole band takes a break, the crowd leaves.
yeah, and it's tough to wrangle them all back in.
Correct.
You know,
It is an opportunity to go home.
Yeah, exactly. Or just
yeah.
go to the bar, which is a different direction facing
Correct.
the opposite way, you know?
Yep.
And it's always tough. I mean, I feel that 100%. Load in, load out, playing those bar shows that I do. That's the killer. That's when everybody leaves.
I figure if you've got them and they're paying attention to you, why do you stop? Why would you stop?
Yeah, exactly.
And let them go find something else to do for 10 minutes or 20 or 30. Mm-hmm. You know, it makes no sense to me. So with that in mind, I keep them there. If I can't have a full band playing, I try to have an acoustic show going.
Do you have like I know every year it kind of changes a little bit. Do you have like a set person you do all the acoustic stuff, or you just kind of whiffle waffle different people in there? Or
Wiffle waffle different people every year. Now,
Yeah.
the last 2 years I had Cosmic Brownies and Kris Karr, and we actually put the full band together
Yep.
one for half an hour there. But we did that for 2 years in a row. Now it's time for something different. Mm-hmm. Before that, we had the Great Lakes Hybrids like 3 years in a row, or 3 or 4 years, with each one of them doing a single slot or something like that. Mm-hmm. I've got Clint coming this year. He's going to do a single in the afternoon, I believe, right after between the first two bands.
Clint Riedel.
Clint Riedel and the Blue Ribbon Rambler.
Yep. Oh gosh, love him to death.
I just confirmed Elias Netz is going to come on this afternoon.
Cool.
Just this afternoon, I booked him. So
I've been wanting to check him out. I've actually had multiple people say you've got to watch him live. So I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that. Not that I'm not excited for like Clint and everybody
Right.
else, but
well, think about it. Elias has a different style.
Okay.
He does a lot more of I wouldn't call it new country, but more of an outlaw feel to it. I don't know if you know, like Alex Williams and maybe Whitey Morgan, guys like that.
Okay.
I know he covers a few of their stuff, and that's what draws me to him, because it's not the same old, Last Dance with, Mary Jane.
Oh, yeah,
The
okay.
same songs everybody plays.
Yep.
He plays different stuff. So we got him on there, and I've still got at least one, if not two more slots that I have feelers out. But,
Cool. Dude, I'm excited. I think that's one of my favorite parts about this is it doesn't matter what goes on. Every year is always a little bit different, and it's even usually a little bit different than 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
so you never quite have a repeat of what's going on.
Well, I don't want to put on the same show we had last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Personally, I say I take ownership, I guess. Understand it's not my committee. It's not my picnic. I'm just a guy helping out that is blessed with the option of coming in and helping them out. But my thoughts on it are, I don't want to see the same show that I saw last year.
Yeah.
And Wild Ambition was our closer a couple years ago. Well, yeah, we don't want to have them. Well, what if they can come in and do an hour and a half in the afternoon, or late evening, or early evening? Absolutely. So we're gonna mix it up, put them in different slots, and we've had other bands multiple times. We had Jebediah Stone 2 or 3 times. We had Lance's band 3 times at least. And
Yep.
And
I played on one of the shows they were on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not that we don't want to have any bands back, but we want to have other bands too, different groups, and I got a couple of 3 bands that one of them never played it because I refused to book my band.
Yeah, that's always a tough call. You and I have talked about that a little bit. It's so weird. It doesn't matter if you waited 20 years and then booked your band once. Everyone would be like, well, I don't, you don't
That's
want
exactly why I don't do it. And,
It's not like they would, but you never know if they're going to. So you just let it go.
And when Kris Karr did it 3 years ago, I was unaware.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I didn't book it.
Yep.
I did not book that show. I think Pablo did it, and Anyway, I don't. It doesn't feel right to book my own band for my own show.
I mean, that comes back to, though, like, you never know what's going to happen in between the shows. Because I've been to shows where I've seen you walking around backstage and you see somebody and you're like, did you bring your guitar? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, do you want to play 20 minutes quick?
Yeah.
And because you never know. It could just be somebody that brought a guitar with and just go up there and play a couple songs. And that's how the Kris Karr Band ended up getting up there anyways. Because, I mean, Blummel was there already and Chris is playing. And, I mean, it was just like, well, is everyone here?
Yep.
Everyone's here. Can we just borrow this stuff for like just a second?
Well, that's what I figured. If Brad was going to drive 2.5 or 2 hours up from Des Moines, at least make it worth his while to play some music.
Put him to work. Put him to work. No, and that's what's really cool. I always love that. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what people are going to sing. You're going to get all types of music from, the 60s till present day stuff. I know even when I was there, I played a ZZ Top song from 2008 or something, so I've definitely run the gambit even of what I've played when I was there. And it's really cool that you guys put this event on every single year. It's free. It's free. I don't want to say that too many times, but I got to emphasize again, it's free. It's a free event.
There's a difference between free and free.
All right.
Free is, you don't have to pay a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to pay a dime to come hear this music. However, if you want to hear it again next year,
that's very true.
We need somebody to help us get there.
Yes. Okay. So you guys do the T-shirts, which is one of those cool things. You got T-shirts designed for this year?
Yes, we do.
That's awesome.
I have not seen them yet.
Ooh, that's cool. I saw somebody just within the last couple of weeks wearing like a Rockin' Picnic 6 shirt or something, and It was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it just made me grin when I saw it.
I had one on the other day that was from 2012.
Cool. Oh man, yeah. I mean, you doing food this year on the Sunday as well, or no?
I believe that is the same situation. Probably going to do the food again, but it will be handled differently.
Yeah. Okay.
It won't be walk up and grab it. We'll have people actually serving it to you because of the COVID situation.
It makes sense though too. I mean, if you have one person distributing all the food, then it's a lot more sanitary than if it's
right. So we'll have
serve yourself type deal.
And people on the committees, we volunteer. We'll take a time to run, dishing beans or dishing whatever, the barbecue or whatever it may be. So we all take turns, or they all take turns, pardon me.
Shout out to the committee.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't just put this on, they're volunteering their time to make sure that it happens too. Because you can't just run an event with nobody.
Nope.
And
we don't have money to pay anybody to do anything.
Exactly, yeah. That's just one of those things. That's one of the reasons I think this is so cool. It's the fact that it's run basically out of the goodness of so many people's hearts.
Yeah, whatever is given this year is what we use to put on next year's show.
That's awesome.
And we had whatever we took in last year is what we're paying for, using to pay for this year's show.
Mm-hmm.
And if people don't give, it's going to be a smaller show.
Yeah.
We're hoping that next year we get enough people to give in that we can hire, who knows, Molly Hatchet or...
Ooh. How cool would that be, though, to just be like one of these years where it's just like...
kidding, by the way. There's no way we can get to that.
Yeah, I know. But like, how cool would that be, though, if it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it was just like... Would you ever consider maybe hiring like Molly Hatchet or whatever, just...
Well, the only problem with hiring a bigger band like that is there's more that comes with it.
That's true.
More people, more security.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
There's more things to think about than just having a bigger band.
A lot more people are going to travel in from farther distances just to see, especially if you continue to make it free, and then it loses its community feel.
As it is now, we are our own security. There's people all around with staff shirts on, and the one incident we had 4 or 5 years ago was stopped immedially by one of the people in the crowd, and he got there before the committee could get there. So
that's crazy. Like I said, I've been there the last maybe 3, maybe 4 years, but like I don't even remember there being an incident. So like that must have been how quickly it all went away. But that's cool that the people will police each other though, too, because it's just a public event, and it's at a public park. You can
and honestly, if you had too much to drink and you got a bad attitude, just go home.
Yeah.
We don't want you there.
Yeah. Oh man.
You may be a best friend and somebody's favorite person to be around, but if you're going to be that way, we don't need you there. Hit the bricks.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know. That's always kind of tough because it's a tough situation to manage on either end too, especially to be like, hey, buddy, just tone it down a little bit, and it's never an easy situation to deal with. So it's crazy that it's only ever happened once, and it was so minuscule that I didn't even hear about it, So that's pretty cool. I mean, kudos to everybody in the community for showing up and keeping their heads on straight.
The fact that you didn't hear about it, that goes to show you that, we're all good people.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't all have to be jerk-offs.
True that. So this has been every year on, let's see here, it would be Labor Day.
It is the Sunday prior to Labor Day.
Sunday prior to Labor Day. So Labor Day, which is the Monday.
Yep. The 7th.
Yep. So then it's the day before that. So it doesn't matter if you are thinking like, well, I don't know, I don't want to drive and I got to work tomorrow. No, you don't. You don't have to work tomorrow.
That's right.
You don't have to work tomorrow. Come out on Sunday, the whole day. Does it start at 1 this year?
We're starting at, you're right. First band is going to start at 1 o'clock.
Whoa, cool. So it's literally going to be like 1 until, I'm assuming, like midnight.
Well, I'm
or
sure
so.
there'll still be music going on at 11 o'clock. But,
yeah.
And it's up to the last band whether they want to continue or not. So.
Yeah, I remember a few years back, the headliner was playing, and I was like, I'm going to duck out before everyone else ducks out so I can beat the traffic. So I duck out, and I drive all the way home. And way in the distance, if you sit outside and listen, you can hear what they're playing. And it's like, oh, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it's a ways away. I'm not like across town or anything, but
you're 2 miles from it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, So like we were saying earlier, if you want to come out and you still want to social distance, there's probably a good chance you could just drive in there, park your car, and see and listen.
Yep.
Which is the other cool thing about the stage down there. It's in such a nice spot as far as like where it's pointed and how many people can see what's going on at the stage from almost everywhere in the park.
Yeah, it's fun to do a panoramic shot from the stage because you can see everything from the turnaround where the fishing area is over there, the dock area. You can pan all the way around to the camping, and there's just nothing but space. There's no reason for being upset because you don't have room.
Exactly. I mean, that's one thing I just hope for this year is that people understand that and they all get along well enough, because I understand that everyone has differing opinions, and it's just the way the world is right now. Everyone's kind of at each other's throats a little bit, but
we don't want a politically divided crowd.
No. Oh my God.
The only divide we want in our crowd is black and gold versus cardinal and gold.
There you go. Yeah, actually, that does come into play quite often.
Yeah.
I remember you auctioned off something one year that was one or the other.
Yeah, some can bins.
My favorite part, I don't remember which team was which, but some guy outbid all of the people on the team that he didn't like because he was just like, you can do better than that. And he ended up winning it, and he redonated it, and he was just like, let's see what you can do now. Let's see if you can beat that. And that was
and I don't think they did.
That was the coolest thing ever. And like I said, I don't remember if it was Iowa or Iowa State. I think it was Iowa State.
No, it was the Hawk fans.
It was?
Yes.
What?
It was the Hawk fans that didn't put up.
That's mind-blowing to me. I would have assumed it the other way. But either way, that was like the coolest thing ever, was you had people like literally kind of just poking fun at each other over the team based on like how much money they can.
And that's, that auction time is about the only downtime we've got. And it's not downtime because we're making money. I think the last couple of years we've made almost $2,000 just on the auctions, 10, 15 minutes worth of auctions. For whether it be the guitars or the can bins or whatever else we might have that we were going to auction off. So that's a very important 15 minutes to us.
Yeah. Do you do all of that auctioning at the same block, like all at once, or do you split? Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you split those up.
That way, if somebody's there that they know what they want, they don't have to wait or different times. They know it's going to be at one time, and
makes sense. That makes plenty of sense. Is that usually before the headliner then? Or?
Actually, it's going to be the headliner's going to play for about 45 minutes, and then we're going to do the auction.
Perfect. Oh,
and then they're going to come back and play another hour and a half.
That's cool. So
it'll be a little bit later in the evening. It'll be closer to 9 or 9:30 when we do the auction.
That's cool. The auction every year has always been one of my favorite things. Just for the simple fact of, you get to see people. I've seen a guy buy the guitar at auction and then donate that back again on a different year as well. And that was like, I don't know if it was the same person, but that was like mind-blowing to me too, where it's like, you want it, and he's out of the kindness of his heart.
Speaking of the guitar, go ahead and grab it.
All right, let's grab it. Anybody watching the video for this one's going to get to see this. Patreon.com. But Scott donated a guitar to me to...
I stole the guitar from a guy in Ames for $35, and I gave it to you to completely reconstruct it. And this is the job that Pete has done. He dipped it, right?
Yes.
Paint dipped it.
For everybody not watching, I'm displaying a guitar like Vanna White. I hydro dipped a guitar for Scott. It's a Stratocaster guitar, and it was missing a couple parts, but Scott very graciously compensated me to get the parts for it.
The committee did, the Rockin' Picnic.
Well, appreciate it to the committee. Thank you guys very much. So yeah, we got new parts for the guitar, and
we're going to auction this off on Sunday night at the Rockin' Picnic.
One of a kind guitar. It's if you guys know what a Strat looks like, you can Google it. If you don't, it's got red pearly pick guard on the front and back, and it's hydro dipped red, white, and blue, baby.
And it's been proven, it's been played.
Yep, was just playing a little bit with Scott here earlier, and it not only works but works very well.
Yeah.
Which is one of those things I was talking to you about. It came to me non-functioning with not enough parts to function, and we got it fixed up, and it actually.
Well, I told you I paid $35.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing though. Fixing it didn't take terribly too many extra dollars though, so that was pretty nice, and we got.
And if any of the bands that are on the stage that day, if they want to play it for a song or two, we'd welcome to do that.
Ooh, that would be so cool to have like each band touch it once or something like that. That would be so cool. It's been played at the show. We'll see if that's gonna happen. I think everyone should get to the Rockin' Picnic just to see that happen.
Yep.
It's the traveling guitar. But yeah, I don't know. When I dipped this guitar, I was like, I don't know if I like the way this looks, and that's always been the way I have been about my art, but then when you get it all together, you're like, oh no, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So I was really happy with how it turned out. I've only dipped a handful of other guitars, and this was the first one I've done, that was getting donated other than the Iowa Central guitar, but that one came out of my pocket. So that was a little bit different story, but this was like technically the first quote unquote commissioned piece I've ever done. So that's pretty wild. I've, been working on guitars a little bit here and there and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And
hopefully this one will get us a few $100.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. So there it is, everybody, the Rockin' Picnic guitar. If anyone's watching on the video, there it is. This thing's getting auctioned off. It's the guitar that gets auctioned off.
Come on out to the picnic to see it played and then buy it.
Yeah, I can't stress enough. In person, I think this looks so much better than it does in pictures. Pictures can only do so much justice, and even this video can only do so much justice. I'm going to put this baby back.
Now, like I said, we're going to auction that off probably on the last band is going to take a break. They're going to try to take the stage at 8 o'clock, play for 45 minutes. So it'll be about 9:30 in that area when we go to the auction on that guitar.
Nice.
And the band that's going to be playing, we haven't discussed the last band of the day yet, the headliner band.
The headliner.
We've got a band out of Kansas City coming up called Villains Dance. They bill themselves as the ultimate 80s experience.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a lot of, I call it hair band music.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sure you'll hear some.
That's what I grew up on. I love
Motley
that.
Crue and Metallica.
I've actually, a buddy of mine, when I posted this poster, commented on the poster and was like, I know guys from Villains Dance, and they are insanely good. So a buddy of mine from Des Moines knows of this band and knows how good they are. He was talking about seeing them in other bands play and things like that, and he said it's going to be lights out. So,
and they have a bit of a show that they do too. I think they've got a
that's cool.
They've got a TV screen that they have behind that they put them on the back of the stage for people to view.
Nice.
I'm not sure it's 70-inch or something like that or bigger. I don't even know what it is. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it, but they just told me they've got something to hang.
That's cool.
So
that's cool, dude. I mean, usually the headliners you guys bring in every year put on some kind of like what I would call an extra show. The AC/DC band had the giant wall of speakers, and I mean, ludicrously giant wall of speakers, and it was like
and the bell. They had the Hell's bell.
Oh my God,
we didn't get a chance to get it hung for them, but it was luckily it was light enough that they could hold it on their shoulders. And
that's awesome. I mean, I loved that. That was such a good time too, because it was just everybody knows AC/DC, and everybody was loving that.
And they have wanted to come back. They have begged us to come back, and we might have them back again next year. Who knows? Depends on whether they can quote me the right price.
Yep.
Quote Paul the right price.
Yep. I mean, that's the other tough thing too, is you guys as much as it seems like you guys don't have a budget, you very much have a budget.
Yes.
You have a budget you have to fit in.
Yep.
And I mean,
And the budget is determined by
the previous year.
yes,
So
and
that
how much people donate.
and that's tough too, because like I mean, if you're playing the show one year, you know what you're doing is you're literally contributing to the next year's show.
Yep.
That's all you're doing, you know. And I mean, it's not like that's all you're doing. You're there playing music and entertaining, you know, hundreds of people, but still, it's one of those things where you're actually like putting in good work, and it's like a good faith effort that that you, Scott, and Pablo are going to hire enough, you know, well-known bands to bring in enough people to come enjoy this. And I think honestly, I think the community is so thankful for this event that it wouldn't matter who you booked, they would still come to it because there's nothing else like this. I mean, in our county, there's almost nothing like this in any county touching ours except for like a bait, maybe, you know, or maybe like one of the Lizard Creek Blues Society thing in
that's
Fort
a good
Dodge.
show. Yeah.
Those would be like the only things I would say that are comparable to this, you know. So
You know, there's some multi-band shows that you've played, like down at the Eagles Club and that, but it's a different thing.
yes,
You know, this is just this is a festival.
mm-hmm.
You know, just you bring what you want. You can have alcohol. You can have your own loud music if you want, but you can do what you want. You can have your own food. Just throw a blanket down, or bring a picnic table, bring lawn chairs, or put up we don't care, put up a pop-up. As long as there's nobody behind you that you're blocking their view, put up a pop-up.
Oh, that'd be so cool to have
a
one of those
canopy.
like those giant fold-out canopies,
Yeah.
you know, and then you can sit in the shade, and people could still see through it if they wanted to.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we have no problem with canopies as long as they're not blocking anybody's view.
Don't put it right in the front, front row canopy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh man. But you made a good point though too. Like as far as like refreshments and things, you're not selling alcohol, so it's
No.
BYOB.
Yep.
I mean that's actually really good on your part. It takes a lot of responsibility off your hands
Correct.
as far as like going out and getting a liquor license and maintaining it and
Yep.
blobbity blobbity blah, all that
Yeah,
stuff. That it's too much stuff.
Yeah, we don't have any liquor sales, no beer sales. We do have some food available for donation. We don't sell anything because that would be unlawful.
Yes.
But, we do welcome any and all donations.
That's also a good way to do it too, because I mean, you never know what people are going to donate. People could end up donating. A lot of times at free will donations, you give a little bit more than you think you should, just out of the goodness of your hearts, and that's always the best part. But you also, like, coming back to that good point, like, if you could probably still just walk up and give them money if you want to bring your own food and you feel like obligated to, or you could just bring your own food and not eat their food if you don't want to. And
if you come out and you have a good time and you enjoy the music, even if you didn't eat our food, whatever. Hey, if you enjoyed the music, come let us know and drop us a $20 bill.
Yeah.
Because if you drop us, I'll flat out tell you, I'm not paying these guys, these solo acoustic guys, very much. They're playing for 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 at the most. It's not a $300 gig.
No, it's also it's exactly.
It's a minimal dollar gig. They're getting maybe 50 cents a minute.
Yeah, I mean that's actually technically a decently justifiable amount. If you stretch it out over like 4 hours, it's like, well, that comes close to the wheelhouse of a 4-hour gig. But you said,
you don't have to haul PA. All you got to have is a guitar and a mic if you want to bring one.
Oh my gosh, that is the other thing. The music, the sound there is insanely good. We got to give a shout out to the guy running sound,
Mike Wiedemann.
Dude, it is every year. It is insanely good. He's so fast at the change ups. He knows to boost sounds during solos. It doesn't matter if you've got a giant bell you're going to ring, or you're just an acoustic act, or you've got a cajon, or
he is very good, and he's got his wife helps out, and if there's anything goes wrong on stage whatsoever, he is there instantly, and he is at a full sprint getting things done.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I recall the first year I was there, whoever played after us, one of the microphones tipped over that was leaning on an amp that was miking up an amp, and I swear to God, he hurtled up onto the stage in one jump and was just like, whoa, boom, and tipped it right back up, and away it went, and that's one of the coolest things, too, is just knowing that he's putting that much into it as well, And
Mike knows what he's doing. He's done it a time or two.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's always great. I love it. He is probably one of the best sound men in the area, in the biz right now,
and we get along good. I know that he hates me sometimes because I come over and say, hey, we're going to do this quick and do that quick. And
Yeah.
and he's thinking, well, how the hell am I going to do that? I got other stuff to do,
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got, it's not just standing out front, pushing buttons, running sound. We switch a band out and take 5 guys off stage and put a new drum set up and 5 other guys on stage. That's 5 more amps he's got to figure out how to mic up or direct, DIN, and 5. That's a new drum kit that he's got to get all mic'd up.
Yeah.
And everything's in a different spot, so every mic and clamp has got to be different. So we put pressure on him, but he comes through and.
Oh, it does amazing. An amazing job. I remember once when I was doing the Stockyard gig and Blumel was playing drums, he set up a microphone in the back for Blumel to sing, and Blumel's like, I don't need this. And he looks at me and he's like, he's not singing? And I was like, no. And that was when I realized, I made a mistake, but no. But that was one of the funnier moments I had, interacting with him on stage when he set all that stuff up. And he was just like, wait a second. You got him in here, he's not even going to sing? And it's, anybody that knows Blumel knows he's, sings like a bird. So.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Jeff's going to show up to do the national anthem for me this year.
Again, yes.
I've talked to Bruce. I mentioned to Bruce about a month ago, Bruce Sporchers, about maybe playing it on guitar while he's singing it.
Oh, cool.
But Bruce didn't really show a lot of interest. So
Yeah,
maybe I'll give him a call again. He might be interested.
Yeah, you never know. I think that's one of the other cool things about this is you just kind of put feelers out to people like, hey, how do you feel about maybe doing this? And you never know what people are going to say. Like you said with originally with my band, when I was going to go there and play a show, it was like, well, I don't know if this will work out, but we could put something else together and do that. So it wasn't the original idea, but it ended up being something that worked out very well.
I'm going to go out on a side note, same topic, but a side note. Somebody put a post on Facebook yesterday about a caterpillar, and maybe it was Blumel.
Okay.
And depending on the cat, it's black on each end and brown in the middle.
Okay.
And the longer the black is on each end, the colder or harder the winter's going to be.
All right.
So I put a post on there that said, hey, I said, oh, come on. I want more middle brown band.
Yes.
The band in the middle.
Yep.
And Paul Larson, he gets on and he says, hey, Middle Brown Band, are they playing this year?
Middle Brown Band?
Middle Brown Band. It's the Caterpillar has a band of brown.
Yep.
And I want more Middle Brown Band for
So there you go.
a warmer winter.
Yep.
Now he calls it the Middle Brown Band. So, hey, it's kind of late, but maybe we could throw hours worth of music together on Saturday night if people want to put together a Middle Brown Band. I'll do the singing.
That'd
All
be
I need is a
awesome.
drummer and a bass man and a guitar.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. Yeah, I mean,
We'll play before Jeremy goes on Saturday night.
there you go. Yeah, you never know. I mean, like honestly, that's almost exactly how both of the times I've played there have went. Like, like within about a month before the show, it was like, all right, I've got a lineup for this show. We need to practice now, and we practiced every single week, and made time to practice. Or, when I played there with just Dan Blair, it was like, we got all this stuff ready and things like that. And it was like, we need to get this. We played with like a drum machine and a drum loop, and it's like, we need to get these tempos down and perfect all this stuff. So like the last week was when we were like really pushing hard to get everything programmed the right way. But, that's, like I said, I've said a million times over, my favorite part about the show is you know what you're going to get, but you also don't know what you're going to get. Yep. You never know.
So I'm serious but not serious. So obviously there's no way I can put together a band in 9-10 days or whatever. But
hey, you could.
Well, I know I've got practice with 2 other bands next Wednesday and Thursday night. So
yeah,
my time is pretty tight. But I had it in my mind all day today. I think, man, I could just sing the songs and let somebody else play the drums and
that'd be nice.
So if you're interested, hit me up. We could have 9 people on stage. It ain't gonna pay.
Yeah.
But hey, it might just be for the shits and giggles. Let's do it,
dude. And speaking of that,
if you're interested, hit me up on Facebook and we'll see what we can do.
There you go. I mean,
but you can't wait forever because we got to make her go if she's gonna go.
Yep. Oh man. And that's like I was going to ask you about that.
And it will be billed as the Middle Brown Band.
The Middle Brown Band. I was going to actually ask you about, like, you are in a couple other bands. People that haven't listened to the prior podcasts, you are in the Kris Karr Band. You are also in, was it the Nedd Freeley
Funn Band.
Funn Band. And then the Fabulous Uniques, you still doing that?
I haven't been together with the Uniques in almost a year and a half.
All right.
They're all older gentlemen and just, the drive isn't there, and
Makes sense.
I'm actually one of them is in Nedd Freeley with me, but
Cool.
we're all so far apart we just can't get together. So.
Yeah. How about Nedd Freeley and the Kris Karr Band? Has the Kris Karr Band done a full band show post COVID
We
reopening?
were at the winery last month, and we played in Rockville City for a city square event.
Cool.
About a month ago. Well, we're actually this is going to be past, but Friday the 28th, we're going to be at the Humboldt Dragway.
Cool.
Dude, and then again in September, we're at Soldier Creek again, I believe.
What? Oh man, were you at the Dragway the one time it rained really bad?
It didn't actually rain on us, but it rained a quarter of a mile. It poured.
Yeah,
quarter of a mile away.
It was coming for you was
Yeah.
the deal, and that was the Kris Karr Band. You
Yep.
guys were there. Okay, yeah, I remember that being a thing because I was like, I might go out there and check it out, and I think I talked to you, and you were like, man, we didn't know. We thought it was just gonna destroy everything we had, so you guys did the whole pack everything in a tight spot and tarp it down real quick, and
Yeah, I ended up getting home and unloading the truck and trying to figure out where shit was at.
yeah.
I mean, nothing was where it needed to be because it just went in so fast.
Oh my gosh, that would be the worst. And luckily at the Rockin' Picnic, every year I've been there, it's been sunny and amazing. So
Well, we've had one monsoon, we had one blizzard. It was so cold one year that it's the one year that I missed. Matter of fact, but it was.
Oh really?
It was. I believe they said it was down in the 30s and 40s that week. So
Woo, doggy.
I'd rather have the heat.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I was complaining about the heat, and you said, dude, in like 8 weeks, you're going to be shoveling 10 feet of snow. Like,
Yep.
Don't complain about the heat. And it's true. It's true.
No, but that's Chris has had a few jobs this year. Nedd Freeley, we did 4 jobs up in Okoboji area this summer.
Cool.
Fantastic. The Okoboji stores where we played. That was a great time. I've got a few other groups that haven't been together so much. Seldom Seen is a country band.
Oh, yeah.
With some local guys, Bob Johnson and Jeff Halverson. And I got a group over in the Dow's area.
Cool.
that we did one show last year, and that was just it's called the Mandel Cook Band.
All right.
Just on a whim, we threw it together, and we're planning to get together some more, but COVID is really kicking our ass right now.
Dude, it is. I mean, I like to think I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof, but even then still, like, I went like 2+ months not even going down to Des Moines to practice because
Yeah.
it's like, well, you don't have a show. What difference does it make, you know? And I mean, I get it. I've even, in the recent couple months, it's still just been like, meh, like I'll come down there when we have a show booked, but otherwise it's a lot of driving for no gigs and exposing yourself to, even if it's just 2 or 3 other people, it's just enough people far enough away. And it's like, man, I don't know.
And anyway, back to the music. I'm actually doing a fill-in gig with a band in Waverly this Saturday, which will be last Saturday when this airs, I believe.
Yeah, yep.
So, man, you should have been there. There was like 1,000 people. Man.
Where
it
at?
was? It was in Waverly.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I gotcha. Yeah. Oh, man, it already happened.
There
Yes,
was like
that's right.
1,000 people, and we had like 6 encores. And
Oh, sweet,
was a
sweet,
great
man. Oh,
great show.
pyrotechnics.
And
the
I've
whole-
never met these guys before then either.
Oh, man. Jeez, that's awesome. It's so cool. What kind of music did you guys play?
I think it's going to be like 80s country and then some Bon Jovi. They sent me a song list, and I know all the tunes, but it's just it's all over the board.
Oh, cool.
Between rock and country and everything, there's your token Leonard Skinner songs.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I've never met the people, let alone played music with them. So
Oh, that's cool, though. I think that's one of the other fun things is being flexible enough to be able to just, like, jump in there, and do it.
fill
you
the
know?
spot. Yeah.
Yep.
And the only other, I've got a job coming up on September 10th.
Okay.
At the Pearson Lakes Art Center up in Okoboji.
Oh, nice. That'll
With
be sweet.
another brand new band that we've been trying to put together from Spirit Lake area.
Oh, so this.
It's called the Borderline Outlaws, and they are hardcore country.
Oh, cool.
Obviously, I love playing rock and roll too, but hey,
Yeah.
I like country too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, going to jam nights has taught me it doesn't really matter what you like. You will enjoy playing almost no matter. Like, it doesn't matter what somebody plays. You're going to be like, I like playing this too,
Yep.
And I'm going to jam. We were talking about earlier. Go to jam nights, play with like folk artists. Like, I never in a million years would write a folk song or want to be like the guy that's like, oh, I just recorded this awesome folk song or anything. But if you put me next to one, it's like, dude, this is hella fun playing next to these guys, And I love that so much. couple years ago when I joined a punk band, I never in a million years thought like I'd be going to jam nights and,
Right.
and playing along with those guys. So
And I would love to start my jams up again, or the jams that I was putting together. I guess I'd call it my jam, but I just don't have a venue. So if you have a venue in the local Humboldt, Eagle Grove, Algona, Pocahontas, Fort Dodge area that you're willing to put up $300 or $400, $400 or $500, whatever, for a band to come in,
yeah,
that's a cheap band.
that is a cheap band.
You know?
That is actually a very cheap band for
Yeah.
a full nights of music. I always thought that was kind of cool too, because like you could do the full. What you do is you pretty much hire a band, and if nobody comes to jam, that band plays all night long.
Yep.
So you're paying those people. But like if it's kind of like a rotating,
Correct.
thing where like if
That's if nobody shows up, then you play the entire night.
Yep.
However, if you get 6 drummers and 9 guitarists and 3, 4, 5 bass players, you might play 5 songs and be done for the night.
yeah, you never know. And I've been there before. I went to a Patty's Pub and I was one of the host musicians and did that. And they ran the same concept there where they
Yeah.
paid the host musicians. On the off chance nobody's there, you got to play the whole night. So
Yep.
it's that's how it works. And it worked like that at Patty's where it's like, well, I played 45 minutes and then I didn't play for 2.5 hours and then I closed out the last 20 minutes.
Yep.
And it worked out like that time. Doesn't always work out like that.
Well, that's just it. I know the last jam I did in Eagle Grove at Rails. Thank you, John, and thanks, John, for having us there. Anyway, Rails had a little fire issue. They're hoping to get back together and have us again. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, the last time we played there, I did the first 5 songs, and then I think we had like 6 drummers come through. Dean Davis and Blummel
Whoa.
and Anita was there, and a couple guys from local over there played, and finally, and I think we were going to play till midnight. Finally, at 11:30 or 11:40, they said, "Man, I think it's my turn again."
Yeah. It's time to
So
get
I
back up
finished
there.
the last 3 songs, and I think the reason was because nobody else had any songs to sing, so I had to get up and play and sing. So.
Oh, jeez, yeah. That's once again, that's the blessing and the curse of being the host musician at a jam night, because you don't always know what's going on. But if you can fill the 4 hours,
Yep.
why not? Anybody that's listening that's got a business, I sincerely hope that you do contact Scott if you are interested in anything like this. Jam nights are fun wherever they're at,
Yep.
and if there's one closer to me, I would love to go to it. It's nothing against driving to Barnum, but it's a 45-minute drive back there and back, so
Yep.
or 50-minute drive. So
And it's very, the first Jeremy's are very similar. Jeremy runs the show and chooses who's playing when, and same thing. It's not that I'm choosing who. It's just I'm looking for who's available at what time and who would play best with other players.
bingo.
Obviously,
Yep.
I've got a guy. If there's a guy that doesn't know country, and then there's another guy over here that doesn't know rock and roll, nothing but country, they're probably not going
Mixed to
to mix too well on stage. Not that their attitudes wouldn't, but the music, they just wouldn't be able to complement each other.
It is tough. I've been to jam nights where, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but someone was playing like a Bob Seger song, and the
Yeah.
person that went up there to play leads was like a very shreddy, like metal Metallica style
Yeah.
thing, and it didn't match very well. It wasn't horrible, but it was still just kind of like yeesh, oof, So like you do have to have that mindset about you too when you go into those situations.
When the song's done, it still has to be about the music,
Yes.
not about how cool your lead was, or
very
how
true.
good your drum fill was, or how quick and fast it was, or how loud your cymbals were. But,
True. Oh man, and
it's
that's
about whether or not that lead that you played matched the song, or helped, or complemented the song.
yes. And I've had like many discussions with people at jam nights, because it's always something that's on my mind ever since. And honestly, I talked about this on a previous podcast. Like, you gave me my best advice for a jam night ever. It was when I was booked with Jeremy on his jam night down in Fort Dodge, and I was like, hey, I'm nervous about this. And you gave me the best advice anyone could give me, because it was pretty much just like, stay out of everyone's way until it's your turn, and then when it's your turn, get in the way.
Yep.
And it was the best advice. If you're
Don't get walked on.
yeah,
Make sure you get your turn.
yeah.
But don't walk on anybody else either.
Bingo. Don't be shredding out leads the whole time someone's trying to sing.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense. You can tag the end of it a little bit if you
Yep.
want to, but also don't tag the end of every single verse, so you got to hone it down a little bit. And I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he was like, yeah, you don't want to waste all your good stuff in the beginning, because when
Yeah.
they're like, hey, take it away, all of a sudden you're going to be like, I'm out of tools in my toolbox, you know, and
Yeah, you've already spent it.
yeah, exactly. And it's a tough thing to always find out, you know, and that's, like I said, that was one of the best pieces of advice anyone's ever given me about a jam night is, you know, blend in until it's your turn to not blend in and then stand out, you know, and it made so much sense, you know.
I remember a couple of jams over at Havelock that I used to go to, but they'd get 3 or 4 guitars playing up there, and everybody would want to take the lead. And it'd be like 2 guys playing lead and not even aware that another guy's playing the lead. Mm-hmm. Or playing a lead.
Yep, I've run into that before, too.
Know, and
it sounds cool sometimes, but most of the time, it does not. And I'm not trying to be mean, but like...
Yeah, chances that they're playing the same licks and the same notes are very, very
bingo.
minimal.
Yeah, your harmonizing is not constant and fluent. So it's a tough one to go with, but... You know, and that's nothing against anybody that's doing that, but at the last Barnum Jam, we brought 2 amps and 2 electric guitars, and it's like you said, it's not always easy because it's just like who's going to take the lead, and sometimes people are like, you take the lead, no, you take the lead, no, you take the lead, no, you take, and then before you know it, you're 4 bars into the solo, and nobody's soloed yet, you know, so you do run into that sometimes when you get too many cooks in the kitchen, I guess would be a good way to say it. Yep. But it also does add quite a bit more dynamics when you get that many people on stage playing guitars because you can, you know, layer in the chords a lot deeper and things like that. So.
You know, you got to watch guys like Ron Lee or Jeremy. You know, just because if you're at a jam, there may be 3 guitars up there ready to play, but if the other guy's wailing, Ron Lee's over here he's just playing the fill, the shuffle. You know, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Trying to put the body in underneath of whatever somebody else is playing for a lead. So.
Yeah, I mean, playing with Ron Lee at one of your jams was one of the first times that I ever got to play with him, and actually joined up with him on a podcast not too much later after that. So that was, you know, when I first met Ron Lee, but that was exactly what I saw, where it's like, we're playing, one of the songs we played was Stranglehold, and he's like, I have no clue what's going on in this song, and it's like, well, it's in the key of A, and there's only like 3 chords in it, so you'll figure it out, you know, and he did, and we get done, he's shredding all the solos, because I was like, you take all the solos, just keep soloing, you know, and he's like, I hope that was good. And it's like, dude, that was amazing. You know, like it's almost.
He doesn't know how good he is.
He's a great example of somebody who doesn't know how good he is. You know, oh man, and that's the best part about going to jam nights. Going to things like the Rock and Picnic is you get to see new people or new formations of people you've already seen. So it's like guaranteed new songs and new stylings. And,
So back to the picnic. If you've never been there, then we need you to come out and check it out. Just come out with an open mind. There's nothing. It's, you know, we get people that think, oh man, there's bad stuff going. There's nothing. It's a family environment, family music. You're not going to hear vulgar language or vulgar lyrics.
No, never. You know, I've only heard it once, and the person got warned, as a matter of fact. So it was like somebody let out a swear word that was a not awesome one, and it was somebody went up there and gave him the. Bzz, and that was enough of it.
And he corrected it. We went forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like nobody's unreasonable there.
That's it's not a church service.
No.
It's not a Sunday church service, but it's a good, clean family environment, and we like to play loud rock and roll.
Yeah. I mean, and that comes back to the reason why I didn't have my punk band play there. I mean, it's nothing against my punk band, but some of the lyrics might not have fit a family environment. So I was like, well, let's go a different direction with this.
By the third song, the power might have been shut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, I wasn't going to put anybody through that, especially not my hometown and not my own band. And it was just like, we're going to do something different. And like I said, it's nothing against Three Finger Betty at all.
No.
Just Labor Day weekend, 2 p.m. slot on a family event might not be.
We'll be sure to have Three Finger Better when we throw the Thrashing Picnic.
Okay, yeah. we'll be there. We'll be there. The Thrashing Picnic. Oh my gosh. We're getting really close to an hour here. We've talked about all the bands. Let's reiterate everything that's happening. Saturday would be the 6th.
Saturday is the 5th, I think.
Okay, Saturday.
Well, I hope my dates are right.
You are correct. You are correct. I know you are. So Saturday would be the 5th, and that's Brutal Republic. They play everything from, we're talking everything from almost a country vibe to blues to rock to jazz to heavy stuff. One of my favorite bands as far as tailoring a set list for the evening has always been Brutal Republic. They can figure out who the crowd is and what kind of music they need to play.
And we had them on the Sunday show last year, and Jeremy showed up in the perfect attitude. That when they hit their first song or two, I mean, the stage was bouncing.
Yes.
It was literally bouncing with the vibe that they were putting out. They're great.
Dude, they're so good. So good. So Saturday, make sure you hit up that show, 7 o'clock for that show. Otherwise, Sunday's the 6th.
6 o'clock if the Middle Brown Band plays.
There you go. Oh,
7
man.
o'clock.
Yes.
Trust me, 7 o'clock.
All right. Sunday, since you're not working on Monday, because Monday's Labor Day.
Yep.
So Sunday, you might as well go to the Rockin' Picnic. 1 o'clock the music starts on Sunday.
Yes.
And there will be...
Plan for a full day of rock and roll.
Yes. It's going to be 5 bands, people playing in between, one small auction taking up like 15 minutes. And that's the only break in the music is going to probably be that.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's going to be like maybe a 2-minute break. And I mean...
And we'll be. I've got some slingshots. I'll shoot some T-shirts out in the crowd and
cool.
some koozies and tell you what, if you got something you want to donate, a T-shirt or a koozie or something, hit me up and we'll shoot them out in the crowd for you.
Actually, I did have something I've been spouting around on the internet. Anybody that goes to the Rockin' Picnic wearing an Audible Farm shirt, I will give you a free sticker if you show up in an Audible Farm shirt.
Free decals.
I mean, we're talking high quality. No, it's for real, though. If you don't have a shirt, hit me up before the show or buy it off the shop. But otherwise, Rockin' Picnic shirts are going to be there. Buy a Rockin' Picnic shirt. I know I'm going to be buying one for sure. I debated setting up a booth, but it's not my event, so I'm not going to. Even if you allowed me to, I would probably make some caveat, like I'm donating some of the money back. But like... Rockin' Picnic, one of my favorite shows every single year. I've been in attendance the last 3 years guaranteed. I know that for sure because I played 2 of those years.
Well, and we appreciate you promoting the picnic. I wish there was a way that we could promote you other than we announce you, during the show and all of our thank yous and that.
I really appreciate that.
But we don't have any other way to we don't have anything going through the year to say, hey, go to Audible Farm or nothing like that. So
no, I totally get it. We had teased the idea or talked about it last year, like, oh, maybe we put up a booth or a table and you could do stuff here. But once again, there's always music and there's nowhere quiet enough where I can do interviews. I even thought about that, like do backstage interviews, like get the guys as they're coming off the back of the stage. And it's like,
just do 3-minute clips.
I thought about it, doing
have a timer with you, an actual or a 3-minute clip. All right, Jose, what do you think? What do you think of the picnic today?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome. It'd be a fun way to go about doing it. I should try something like that. But, maybe. I'll be there, though. I'll be there.
Come on out.
Maybe wearing an Audible Farm shirt. I don't know. Where's it at? Where did I put it? I might be wearing this I Know Scott Dahl t-shirt that I picked up, actually. You never know.
Those are in demand.
Yes, actually, I remember I tried to get one, and you may or may not have sold out of them before I got the first pressing. So
well, when I first did it, it was as a joke. Somebody kept hounding me about the fact that I needed t-shirts because they went to Nashville and somebody there knew who I was. And long story short, I made this T-shirt for the guy. Well, and I thought, well, if I'm gonna make one, I'm just gonna make 10. So I made 10 T-shirts, and then I gave 2 or 3 away, and I put on internet. They're on Facebook. I was gonna sell them for $15. Within a day, I had to order new T-shirts. Yeah. I sold almost 40 T-shirts.
That's insane.
Seriously.
That is crazy.
I'm thinking, so crazy. And I thank you all for doing that, for playing the game, for joining in the ridiculousness.
Yeah, I mean, for this just starting out as a joke, I mean, generally speaking, it was kind of a, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, somebody said I know Scott Dahl. It's like, well, I'll make him a shirt then, like... And it's got... Did you draw the guy on here?
Most of it, yeah. I copied a little bit from the internet, and then I made modifications. I put the goatee on it. And I think it was a 5-piece drum kit, and I thought, well, that's way too many. I just need 4.
This is awesome. So, yeah, I'll be there, maybe in an Audible Farm shirt.
And I might have shirts there at the party, too.
I might be in this awesome Scott Dahl shirt. There's a good chance I will have shirts available as well, but I'm not going to promote them at all. They'll be in the trunk of my car, safely packed away, because I'm going to be enjoying the music while I'm there. That's what I'm there for, and that's what I'll be doing. Rockin' Picnic, it is Sunday the 6th. The show starts at 1. It goes until maybe midnight.
Yeah,
maybe
11 or midnight, something like that.
So check it out. BYOB. There's food available there, or you can bring your own food. As of the time this is going to be released, I'm not sure there's going to be any camping available. There might be.
Yeah, people. Somebody had mentioned yesterday on Facebook, is there camping? And I told them yes, there is, but it's The park system has a 2-week limit, or 2-week limit. So after 2 weeks, you have to move your camper. So people are booking their camping spots 2 weeks prior to the Labor Day weekend to get them spots.
Yes.
And they may not have a camper there, but they're paying for those days.
Yes.
In order to get those spots. So if you wait until, I think last year there was a couple people that snuck in on Wednesday or Thursday night, and because somebody backed out or had to leave, that's the only way that are going to be open spots.
Yeah, unless you're doing tent camping or non-hookup camping, and even then you might be hard pressed to find a spot for a non-hookup. I know some people have went into Lower Sheldon with non-hookups.
If you bring non-hookup, come down to below, and there's plenty of room. You still have to pay the park fees, whatever they may be, but you'll be right near the stage, within a few hundred yards of the stage.
Easy walking distance.
Yep.
Oh, man.
You could sit at your camper and enjoy the show.
Yes, far ways away from everyone else, or walk over and see what's going on. Once again, I love this event. It's one of my favorite events. It's right here local in my hometown, set up by musicians and a committee that is very dedicated to making sure that this happens every single year, donating a lot of their time to make sure.
And I wanted to reiterate that even though I'm the one here doing this podcast, it's not me. It's the other 18 or 20 people that organize this and put it together and line up everything between porta-johns and lights and roping and ramps, and I mean, you name it. There's a lot of people doing a lot of things. Yes.
It's always been one of the easiest places as far as loading in, loading out, people staying out of your way when you're trying to like get to certain places to do certain things if you're a musician. So from the musician's end of things, it's always one of the best events I've ever been to. From a spectator point of view, it's one of the most fun events I've been to because you can just park and walk around, and you can, like I said, you can sit back at your car and see everything that's going on if you want to duck away from everybody for a while. Or the bag tournament, there's food, there's T-shirts and more for sale as well. I mean,
and we just discussed the bag tournament just because we were going to move it across the road, but don't forget there's a bag tournament.
Yes.
And we have 3 or 4 of them through the day. So
nice.
And get down there, and we try to announce them when the next one's going to start. Get over there and get your name in, and I think it's like a $5 entry or something like that. And enjoy the music, playing bags, visiting other people, and have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man.
You know, the greatest part about this, like I said, it's the committee that does it. Greatest part that I've learned about this is it feels so good to be able to throw a party that people want to come to.
Yes.
That is cool.
Oh my gosh. And I'm not trying to let me put it this way. I've been part of booking so many shows over the last 3 years that have been sparsely attended that is very, very true. Like, to throw on an event of any sort, doesn't matter what you're doing, honestly, and have that many people want to come to it, it's mind-blowing. I would yes, some of it is because of the music, but a lot of it is due to how you guys have run the event over the last 12 years.
You know, and there's a lot of people that have never heard about it, but there are also many people that know about it. They're not in the organization. They don't put anything together, but they know about it all year long, and that's what they're going to do this year. And they know that on Sunday, Labor Day, they're going to be at the picnic, mingling, having beers, and meeting old friends and hanging out.
No, it's going to be so much fun.
And that's what's fun about it.
Yeah.
You know? And when I first started with the committee, you know, like I said, I've told the story many times. I didn't have anything to do, so they told me I could help with the stage, and I took it and I ran, and I love doing it. I don't know, you know, I wait 364 days a year to get to the next one, you know.
Yeah. Oh man, and you're a great MC too. You do a great job up there.
I stutter a lot, but hey, it's a natural problem.
A little foghorn leghorn action there. Oh my gosh. We've eclipsed an hour. I'm so glad to have you back once again to talk about the Rockin' Picnic, Scott. I'm stoked to have this event still happening. As far as I know, as of the time we're recording this, it's on. 100%, it's on. And I'm assuming that this is going to happen in some capacity regardless. So as we're recording this, it's going to be a couple weeks till it happens, but this will be released on Thursday, and if you're listening to this on Thursday, the event is Saturday night and all day Sunday afternoon and evening. So hit up the Facebook event. I will put it in the description down below. Scott, many thanks for coming in and talking about the Rockin' Picnic, always.
Thanks for, and everybody that you interview gives you the same answer. What you're doing is great, It's great for the community. It's great for the music community.
Yes. I'm glad so many people are taking to it.
Not just music.
Yeah, I mean, I've done stuff with non-musicians, and honestly, some of those are some of my most listened to podcasts. So, I mean, people take to pretty much anybody I talk to.
I will personally come help you when you go to interview Ric Flair.
All right, sounds good. Oh, Scott, thanks again. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Scott Dahl, he's in about 1 million bands. He's a workhorse. He's one of those drummer guys that is just in every band. I highly suggest everybody check out what Scott Dahl has going on in his bands. I'll tag some of the links down below to some of them, or most of them that I can find, and you can check those out. Also, the very first link down below in the description section, you guessed it, Rockin' Picnic 2020 event. I will put it down below. That's where everybody can check it out. If you guys want to find the Facebook page for the Rockin' Picnic, I will put it down below as well. It's actually a Facebook group, but just hop in that group, and that's where all of the updates for this year's Rockin' Picnic are going to be happening. It will either be there or it will be in the event page. So check out one of those two things for all your upcoming event information for the Rockin' Picnic. It's going to be a great show. I cannot wait. It's going to be stacked full of bands. There's going to be music wall to wall at the Rockin' Picnic, not to mention that awesome guitar that we showed you in the video version of the podcast. If you guys don't have the video version of the podcast and you still want to see the guitar, you guys can view it. It's on the Audible Farm page. Let's see here. It would be on the YouTube page as well as the Facebook page in the video sections there. So check it out. I think you can go type in Rockin' Picnic Audible Farm on YouTube and it might pop up. Otherwise, if you guys want to see the video versions of this podcast that we are now doing, it's available at the Patreon page, patreon.com/audiblefarm. It will tell you all the information there as far as how you can view the video versions of this podcast. Thank you guys very much for checking out the Patreon page. And speaking of people to thank, I would also like to thank everyone that's been buying merch from the shop. We've been sending out merch every week, so it's very nice. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very, very much. Buying t-shirts, buying hoodies, buying stickers. And speaking of the stickers, I'm holding everyone to that. If anybody has an Audible Farm shirt and they wear it to the Rockin' Picnic, all you got to do is just come up to me and say, hey, I wore my Audible Farm shirt. Boom, you will get a free sticker. And Scott Dahl said it best. Decals, man, they're decals. They are very, very durable decals. All-weather bumper sticker style decals. I will be handing out the full Monty, the real deal. So come on out, wear the Audible Farm shirt, and I will give you free stuff literally just for showing up to the Rockin' Picnic with a t-shirt on. So that's all you got to do. So check that out. It's going to be awesome. If you guys want t-shirts and such, go to shop.audiblefarm.com and you can find it all there at the shop, the Audible Farm shop. Otherwise, if you're looking for all the other links for Audible Farm, you can find them at www.audiblefarm.com. That's where you can find links to all the social media, YouTube page, and everything else. I got to say, I really appreciate everybody listening to the podcast week in and week out. We are getting lots of messages as of late from people, either seeing people wearing the shirts or all sorts of fun things. So I really do appreciate that, people. I'm getting pictures with stickers placed in crazy locations. I love it. I love to see that. Thank you guys very much. I wouldn't have a podcast without all of the musicians and entertainers and everyone I've interviewed every single week, and I just got to say thanks to all the guests and all the listeners. And I got to give another shout out to Couchtown Coffee. They've been with us, for over half the podcast now. They've been with us. So thanks, Couchtown. If you guys are looking for that promo code, go to the intro and check out the promo code. You might be able to save 20% on your coffee, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. So thanks, guys. I will check everybody at the Rockin' Picnic. Once again, if you need updates for the Rockin' Picnic event, they will all be in the Rockin' Picnic group or the Rockin' Picnic Facebook event page. So check those out down below. That's where you're going to find all the updates. Hopefully nothing changes in between the time I'm recording all this and the time the Rockin' Picnic happens. So, hey, it's only a couple days away. We'll see you there. Peace.